Stephanie White has found herself in Charlottesville. And I didn't even trip off this earlier today. But shout out to Ben Daniel, man, because it had dawned on me, which I think they lying, that technically, based off what they're saying, Caitlin Clark is not cleared to play 5-on-5.
Stephanie White has once again found herself under a harsh spotlight, and this time, the backlash isn't coming just from fans. Even medical experts are weighing in, openly challenging her narrative. That minor injury excuse about Caitlin Clark completely crumbled under real examination. Social media is ablaze, and it's starting to feel like a frantic attempt at damage control from every possible angle. The bigger question: did Stephanie truly think she could keep the truth hidden before all the facts surfaced? Let's dissect this, because the Indiana Fever, along with Stephanie White, tried to act as both physician and PR strategist, and it spectacularly backfired.
In July, right? You know, because, matter of fact, guys, there's a doctor that shared some information. You know what? Give me a quick second. Let me pull up this clip. Now, y'all know me, man. I gotta come with the facts. And the fact of the matter is, Stephanie White is looking real spooky. Now, this was back in July. Now, this is just one doctor. Oh, we got two. Let's listen to this. Let's just have a rewind back.
Another groin strain. This is the other side. As we talked about with the first one on the left side coming back after the quad, day-to-day is not accurate for even a minor groin strain. It was closer to 2 weeks before she returned, played well, and now the other side, the right side. It is unclear what imaging shows, but once again, the new groin strain is not day-to-day. She's already missing the All-Star game and the three-point contest. The question is, how much more? We won't know until we know about the imaging details, which were not revealed. But in any case, it's not day.
Stephanie White has once again found herself under a harsh spotlight, and this time, the backlash isn't coming just from fans. Even medical experts are weighing in, openly challenging her narrative. That minor injury excuse about Caitlin Clark completely crumbled under real examination. Social media is ablaze, and it's starting to feel like a frantic attempt at damage control from every possible angle. The bigger question: did Stephanie truly think she could keep the truth hidden before all the facts surfaced? Let's dissect this, because the Indiana Fever, along with Stephanie White, tried to act as both physician and PR strategist, and it spectacularly backfired.
July 5th, a left groin strain.
Medical experts have made it clear Caitlin Clark's recovery realistically needed about a month, not just a couple of days. Meanwhile, fans were on edge, waiting for her return, while Stephanie White kept insisting, "She's tough. She heals fast." Seriously, that's not how real medicine works. Here's the shocking part. Doctors are now speaking out online, revealing the Fever never even consulted them for an evaluation. In other words, the team entirely fabricated their own recovery timeline. It was all about PR, not Caitlin's actual health. Fans quickly caught on. One tweeted, "No one believes a word Stephanie White says," while another called her the biggest liar in the league. At this point, it's honestly hard to argue with that assessment.
She basically says Caitlin Clark is not cleared. Now, I did the first video. Now, this is from another doctor back in July, breaking down a time frame of Caitlin Clark injury. Listen to this. This was on July the 16th. Now, this is when Caitlin Clark injuries happen, right? It says Caitlin Clark injury history: left quad strain, May the 26th, left a groin strain, July 5th, right groin strain, July 16th. He said initially he thought the strain she suffered last night was a re-injury, but realized that it wasn't. Obviously, we know that. Now, this was all the reports that was released by the Indiana Fever front office. Out status. This was all within.
Go back and watch those old interviews closely. I did, and you'll see Stephanie White completely contradicted herself multiple times over just 2 months. First, it was a minor strain, then day-to-day, then she'll be fine next week. And suddenly she's not cleared for 5-on-5 yet? Wait, seriously? She can't scrimmage but can still travel with the team and sit courtside. Yeah, try making sense of that, I'll wait. Here's the shocking part. Even back then, Caitlin was refusing to see the Fever's medical staff and relying entirely on her own doctors. That should have been an immediate red flag. If your star player doesn't trust your team's doctors, something is seriously wrong. But instead of acknowledging reality, Stephanie kept recycling the same robotic lines. "We're taking it one day at a time. She's in good spirits. We'll know more after the imaging." Fans had already heard that speech a dozen times. And honestly, it was getting old fast.
It looked like fans is catching on too. One fan said, "No one believes a single word the biggest liar in the women's basketball landscape, aka Stephanie White, had to say. I'm not saying this. They said this 20 hours ago."
So, Steph, do you even have a clue when Caitlin's injury actually happened? Because based on her own words, she didn't know at first. She said something like, "I don't know when it happened. We just got a message that she had something going on." Come on, let's be honest. The team clearly wanted Caitlin off the court so they could run their system without her interrupting it. Think about it. The moment she touches the ball, the offense completely revolves around her. And Stephanie White? She clearly hated that. So they played the long game, stretched out the injury timeline, kept saying she was almost back, and pushed a weird scheme that was already failing. Now the truth is out. Doctors say she should have been back weeks ago. That means Stephanie and the front office basically misled the media and fans for months. It's like they completely forgot the internet exists. Fans immediately pulled up old press conferences where Stephanie called Caitlin's injuries minor setbacks and swore she'd probably be ready next week. That next week somehow turned into 6 weeks, and by then, the season was falling apart. That's not a setback. That's a full-blown cover-up. And here's the kicker. This isn't even new behavior. This is the 3rd season in a row with mysterious injuries, secret scans, and the classic "we'll see tomorrow" nonsense. Same excuse, different year. Now, every doctor and reporter is digging up receipts, and Stephanie can't hide from it. There's even video from May where she admits she didn't know when Caitlin got hurt, just that something was going on with her leg. You're the head coach. How do you not know when your star player got injured? Then, a month later, she's on camera claiming she knows exactly what happened, and that Caitlin is a quick healer. Which one is it, Steph? You can't act clueless one week and suddenly become DR. White the next. And that's exactly why fans are roasting her online nonstop. They see right through the act. People are saying she was protecting her own job, not Caitlin's health. Think about it. If Caitlin had returned and the Fever still lost, the blame would have fallen squarely on the coach. So keeping her injured became the safest excuse. Now, after all these cover-ups and mixed messages, the truth is out. Doctors confirm Caitlin Clark's injury was fully healed weeks ago. She could have been back in 5-on-5 action much earlier than the team ever claimed. So why was she still sitting on the sidelines? You know the answer. Stephanie was buying time. She kept spinning lines about mental recovery and slow progression. But in reality, she just didn't want Caitlin disrupting her playbook. And now it's all blowing up. Doctors are exposing the real timeline. Fans are calling out the lies, and reporters are connecting the dots. Not a good look at all. At this point, the Indiana Fever should just hold a press conference and admit, yeah, we messed up. Every day, they pretend otherwise just makes them look worse. The funniest part? They still call it a learning experience. Bro, this isn't a science experiment. This is a professional league. You can't treat a star player's career like a test lab. Stephanie is now getting dragged across every platform. Fans are editing clips of her saying day-to-day repeatedly with clown music in the background. One meme even joked that Stephanie White earned her medical degree on Google Images. Harsh. Yes. Accurate? Also yes. You almost have to laugh at the chaos. But here's the serious part. Lying about injuries isn't just about fooling fans. It puts a player's entire future at risk. Caitlin Clark's body is her career. Every misstep from a coach or trainer can cost her millions down the line. So if she's hurt, let her heal. Period. Don't spin it as just tightness, just to look like a hero when she returns. That's not coaching. That's pure PR nonsense. And let's not even get started on the timing of all this drama. It all kicked off right when the Fever were gunning for the playoffs. Then suddenly, Caitlin gets hurt. Momentum vanished. The season unraveled. And instead of taking responsibility, Stephanie White started hiding behind a mountain of medical excuses. Classic move. She probably thought fans would just forget it all, but the WNBA community doesn't forget. They've got timestamps, screenshots, and every doctor's tweet saved for reference. This week, new info dropped confirming Caitlyn was never in any real danger, and fans absolutely lost it. Now, every interview Stephanie gives is flooded with comments like, "Tell the truth. You lied about Clark." She can't even post a pumpkin emoji without someone typing, "Still lying." That's what happens when you completely lose trust. And this isn't fading. Other players and analysts are speaking up, saying this isn't the first time a coach manipulated an injury timeline for PR purposes. Stephanie is now the poster child for bad management. Instant regret doesn't even cover it. This is career-ending level regret. You can already see the Fever scrambling, deleting old posts, editing quotes, pretending none of this ever happened. But the internet never forgets. Caitlyn Clark is healthy and ready to play, and yet this saga proves one clear lesson. Some coaches prioritize optics over honesty. Stephanie White just learned that the hard way. The fallout has been chaotic. You'd think, after being exposed by real doctors, she'd come clean and move on. But nope, she's doubling down like nothing happened. She's smiling through press conferences, repeating those same "one day at a time" lines like a broken record. Honestly, it's almost impressive, the sheer confidence it takes to act this delusional on camera. Meanwhile, fans are absolutely losing it. The Fever's comment sections are pure chaos. Every post, no matter the topic, "Congrats to interns," "Happy birthday" messages, somehow has 50 people yelling, "Stop lying about Caitlyn." That's what happens when you insult your fans' intelligence. You can't call them family one day and feed them fake injury updates the next. Fans care deeply. They watch every game, follow every press conference, and they notice when they're lied to. The doctors who broke this story aren't backing down either. They've been doing interviews, explaining exactly why the Fever's version made zero medical sense. One even said, "It's highly unlikely a professional athlete with multiple groin strains could return to full movement in under 2 weeks." Translation: Stephanie White, you're full of it. The timing of all this makes her look even worse. Remember when she said Caitlyn was almost ready right before that road trip? Turns out that was the same week the team quietly requested extra medical evaluations, basically admitting she wasn't even close. So not only did they lie, they actively planned around the lie. That's next-level manipulation. Even players from other teams are subtly calling it out without naming names. One tweeted, "Protect your body. They'll smile in your face and ruin your career behind your back." Everyone knew exactly who that was about. And it's not just players. The media is finally waking up too. Reporters who once backed Stephanie are starting to turn, with headlines like, "Fever coaching staff faces credibility crisis." Yeah, a full-blown credibility crisis. That's journalist code for, "We caught you lying." But let's rewind a bit. Why even lie in the first place? The Fever were desperate. The season was hanging by a thread. Instead of being upfront, they tried to fake optimism with a classic "she's fine, just resting" routine. The problem is, repeat that line for 3 months and fans start connecting the dots. Caitlyn's body language said it all. She wasn't injured anymore. She was frustrated, and they were holding her back. If that's true, we're not just talking bad leadership. That's straight-up sabotage. There's even a clip from a post-game presser where Stephanie says, "We're being cautious with Caitlyn," while her personal doctors had already cleared her to scrimmage. You can literally see the assistant coach's face twitch. Even he didn't buy it. Now, with all the receipts out, everything from her fake smiles to the vague medical updates, and she's feeling good, line screams damage control in real time. Fans are merciless. One tweeted, "Stephanie White treating Caitlyn Clark's recovery like a Netflix cliffhanger." Another said, "Can someone tell the Fever this isn't the CIA? We can handle the truth." That's the internet for you. Jokes flying, but truth hiding in plain sight. At this point, Stephanie White's best move would be to lay low, because every time she speaks, it just gets worse. The memes are relentless. The saga's been dubbed the Caitlyn cover-up, and while it's entertaining to watch, it's also genuinely sad. This entire mess could have been avoided if honesty had been the first option. Instant regret? Absolutely. But the damage is done. Stephanie wanted control. Now she's lost it. The doctor spoke, the fans saw through it, and the truth is out. Caitlyn's fine, but that coaching reputation? Not so much. And yeah, they were running MRIs. And if I'm not mistaken, that last check came after the Liberty game on Saturday.